Hi everyone, this is Diane. It's early Sunday evening here and it's very snowy here in the Northeast. Or even our church services were canceled today. And it's done snowing now, but the temperature's dropping with very, very low wind chill factors and the wind is pretty high. So we are being advised to stay indoors. So I stayed in all day today and tomorrow I don't have to go. It's usually my errand day, but I can skip it for Monday. And the post office is closed anyway, because it's Martin Luther King Day here in the United States. So anyway, I just want to show you a couple books that I've been gluing in. It's been a tough week for me, but I did manage to make some Stash Buster journals, and I have a few left in the shop. I'd made 10 of them. So there's still a few left if you want to go check them out. Anyway, yesterday was my aunt's memorial service. And by the time I got home from that, I was so sleepy. I hadn't slept the night before, like maybe 3 hours. And I was going on adrenaline all day. And when I got home, I was so sleepy. It was like 5 o'clock or so. I was so sleepy and I wanted to just sit and rest, but I didn't want to fall asleep because I wanted to be able to sleep last night. So I figured I'd better do something that wasn't too strenuous. So what I did was I started gluing, or I added more things to my Happy Mail binder journal. So this is, I've shown it before, this is a Handyman Journal, Better Homes and Gardens Handyman 5-ring binder that I had bought at a Goodwill quite a few years ago, like maybe 4 or 5 years ago, and didn't really know what I was going to do with it. I had never seen anybody making journals with these at that point, up to that point. But then Gina, she's the first one I saw, Gina Johnson from the Rebookery, started making journals, and now everybody makes journals out of these. So I have quite a collection of them that I haven't even used yet. But this was the first one I bought, and before we moved here to this house, I just covered it because I figured by then if I wasn't going to do something with it, I was just going to get rid of it. So I just quickly Mod Podged some stuff to it, and that's all I did to it until just recently. So I'm glad that I did take that step anyway, because otherwise I would have just thrown it out when we were moving. So this is scrapbook paper, and this is all from vintage magazines, except for this. It's a piece of K & Company ephemera. So then when Gail started using a binder journal to put in some of the things from her Happy Mails to remember her friends and who sent what, I thought that was a really great idea. So I started doing that, and I have a lot of catching up to do. So I had covered the inside with this scrapbook paper too. This was in one of my Happy Mails, this book plate, and I love this. It's so cute. So I glued that there, and I'll put my name there. I'm going to glue stuff here. I don't know what. I'll just do some collages of stuff on this. So I don't know if I showed the first few pages because I had already done these pages a while ago. I may have shown them already, but this was from my friend Susan in Missouri, and I just wrote a little bit about her in there. She gave me this. All of these things here were sent to me from her, and I love this piece of lace, so I included a little bit of that. And then this is from Jill Robertson. This and this are from Jill Robertson, and she sent me this a long time ago. She was like one of my first Happy Mails, and so was Susan. And I had to go back and watch the videos where I showed what they got so I could remember what they sent, and anything that I still had I pulled out and was able to use some of it. So this was washi tape from her, an envelope that she made out of coffee filter, and I love this playing card, so I'm glad I have it to stick in here. And this little teeny tiny playing card is so cute. And she did this. She painted the background and did this collage, and it says, "Everywhere you go, there we are," and I love that. So I put that as a page, and inside, I think this is from her. It's just a weekly time report card. I didn't do anything to it. I could collage something on that too, maybe someday. but that's tucked in there. And I don't remember, yeah, this, she already had this stuff on there. This is from my friend Lee, and she sent me these items and these, and she sent me, I was so excited when she sent me this pad of guest checks, and I still have some, so I put one in here. She made a bunch of these envelopes for me, and these are all from her. Washi tapes, napkins, some die cuts. So that's where I left off. So yesterday I did the other side of this small page because my friend Cindy, who lives in Pennsylvania here, she lives a few hours away from me, I think. But anyway, she knew I was doing a mermaid journal, and so she sent me a bunch of die cuts and stamped images, and there were several different kinds, and she sent me quite a few in the envelope, and this beautiful card that she made. So I put that on there, and there's her note there. And then this is from Karen in St. Paul, and I started with her. I started putting the addresses on so that I have their addresses when I need them. And she has sent me a couple emails, or happy mails. So I can't remember if these were from just one or from if I pulled things from both. But there's this giant card here. It's like a kid's playing card. And this piece of ribbon, I saved this little piece from it. It's Christmas image with this beautiful lady with a muff. I used it in my Christmas journals this year, but I did save that little piece for me, and this beautiful angel greeting card. And then this postcard. She's from Minnesota, and so this is Sunset on Lake Harriet, Minneapolis, Minnesota. A reproduction of an old postcard from here. So it's not vintage, it's a reproduction. And then this beautiful tag she sent me, and the green stamps, and her cards. Cards from both emails or happy mails are in there. This is from Deanna, and she's from Indiana. She painted this card, this beautiful image on this card, so I put that in there. She sent me some Raggedy Ann things. She sent me a Raggedy Andy stamp, a wooden stamp, and I think it goes with this because it looks like this, except it's Raggedy Andy. And then she sent me a bunch of these that were stamped. So I'm getting ready to make Raggedy Ann journals, so I'll be using those images that she sent me, but I saved one to put in here. And this envelope she made, she decorated that all up, and so I glued it in here, and she had these little cards in here, so I put them in too. So thank you, Deanna. This page was a fold out, and I filled this up with stuff from Tammy from Texas. I think she's from Texas. Yeah, Texas. See, Tammy has sent me a couple too, I believe. But I had a lot of fun doing this one. There's some napkin glued on here. I didn't use Mod Podge, I just used my glue stick. This Mary Engelbreit card I had to put in here. I would have liked to have put it in a journal, but I have a couple of wooden block Mary Engelbreit stamps. They don't stamp very well, so I don't use them, but I keep them out on the shelf because I like them. One of them is the Queen of Everything, and the other one is the Princess of Quite a Lot. So I always tell my daughter that I'm the Queen of Everything and she's the Princess of Quite a Lot. So that's what this is, the Princess of Quite a Lot. So I had to save that. I love this fuzzy rickrack that she sent. So I put a piece there, and this trim, Norman Rockwell card and some tickets, and this really cool rooster. Love this. And I'm going to do some farm journals, but I had to save that one for myself. There's some eyelet here and some blue rickrack, some wide rickrack. Vintage bingo card. I love this playing card with this beautiful ship on it. I just think it's such a pretty image. And this piece of little lace medallion. So I had a lot of fun making this page. And the background paper is from Hobby Lobby, and it's a really nice, looks like wallpaper. And then on the other side of that, there we are, flip out. This is from Manon from Quebec. And this was fairly recent. I gotta glue that a little bit better. She sent me quite a few pieces of wallpaper, and this was my favorite one. So I used pinking shears and cut that out, and I glued it on as a pocket. It's actually a double pocket because I glued here on the seam. So there's a little pocket here and a longer one here. And then I used a little strip of it here because it was an empty space. And there's an elephant. She sent me for my elephant journal, but I love this guy. This elephant in a business suit and a derby. So I just glued him in there. And she sent me some fashion, some very vintage fashion pattern things in French. I was going to look that up. I know parler means speak, but I didn't look it up. And I put that image of the woman there. And she sent me these gorgeous, this is her address I tucked in there. Gorgeous pink flowered cards, because she knows I love pink. And they're French quotes, and she put the translation on the backs. So I saved a few of those for myself. This one is from Lisa. I'm not sure where she lives. I didn't have the address in this with the things that I had set aside, but she lives somewhere where there are moose. I think it's Maine. But she sent me this card, which I thought was so cute, with the little moose tracks punched out there. And she sent me these tags, and I chose the ones that had quotes that I liked. This card was beautiful. Did she write on it? If she did, I glued it shut. I didn't mean to. Oh no, she didn't write on it. Okay. So I don't have, oh, the note she wrote is on there, I guess. And then I thought this was adorable, so I just glued that on there. This one is from Doris. Doris has also sent me a couple, so I think this was only from one. So I might have to do another page from her. I know she sent me a lot of stuff. This is a pretty card. Some gorgeous pink lace there. There's her note. And a little tag with a scripture verse on it. And she sent me some Raggedy Ann things too. A notepad and playing cards. So I tucked one of each. Well, a sheet of paper from the notepad plus the playing card inside here. This is from Sarah, who has the shop Me and My Son Treasures. And she sent me a lot of cards. So I took my favorites and put them on here. I love My Fair Lady. I love this image of the two little girls playing with a sailboat. And this, do you remember that commercial for Tootsie Pops? It's the lollipop with the Tootsie Roll in the center. The owl was asked the question, how many licks does it take to get to the center of a Tootsie Pop? And so he licked, and then chomp, he bit to the center, and then the answer was 2. And I always thought that was so funny. So when I saw that card, I knew I had to stick that in there. She sent me a lot of really cool little buttons, so I put a tuba there and a birdhouse, and then this piece of trim. And I didn't put anything on this side yet. I still have a lot of Happy Mails to... I've been setting aside, more recently, I've been setting aside the Happy Mails, or at least parts of them, trying to keep them with the envelopes that they came in so I'd know who sent them. So I have a lot of that to go through, and now as I do this, I can take whatever's left and get it put away in my room. So I did some of that today. This is from Patricia Graves in New York, and this was pretty recent. So she sent me a bunch of cards. I think she's the one that sent me those chocolate trading cards that I used in my chocolate journals. But this card is from the Game of Life, and it's a teacher. And I put that in there because I always wanted to be a teacher when I was a kid. And I kind of am a teacher. I teach Bible class for ladies, a Sunday school class. And I kind of teach here on YouTube. I just have a teacher's heart. I like to share. But instead of being a teacher, you know, like as a career, I'm more of an artist now, finally. I've always been creative, but now I have a shop and a venue where I can actually earn some money doing what I love to do. So there's a Dalmatian as an artist there. She sent me this round, and when I say artist, I mean making journals and things like that. There's a round tag that has gears, or a card that has gears on it. And there's her little note that she sent me. And then this is a book plate for a music book. Without music, life would be a mistake. And I just I think it's a sticker that you can stick into your books. This is wallpaper that I used for this page. And that's as far as I got. Also from Patricia were these envelopes, and some of the Happy Mails came with letters. So I didn't adhere this envelope to the back because I may need something bigger. But I am putting the letters in here so that I can read them, because the people who have sent me Happy Mails have said such nice things to me, and I appreciate it so much. And it would be nice to reread what they said when I'm feeling blue. So that's what I've done so far, and I really had fun. It was very therapeutic and meditative, and I was just quietly gluing things in and thinking about the nice people who sent these things to me and feeling inspired to be creative. And it was a very great activity to do when I needed a little bit of peace but needed to stay awake. So I had fun doing that, and I'm looking forward to getting some more pages done in that. The other thing I did gluing in this week was my glue book. After making and selling some of those glue books that I did, I felt like I need to get my glue book back down and work in it. I don't think it has too much more work to do in it to be done. And then I flip through it and see a lot of empty spaces. So let me see if I can find where I did like 2 sections in here. And I don't do a spread on a page and have it done. I glue here and then I glue something there, and I'm always adding, and everybody does things differently. You may want to do a glue book with a full spread in one sitting. But I just like to stick stuff in that I like, and then when I go back, I'll find something else that I like to put on that page. I know I did this page this week. I like this switchboard operator that was on this page, so I just worked around her. And these are all images from Somerset Studio magazine. And I already had this piece from some mail on it, and this little tag was stuck in it, but I added this piece and this piece. And I did this page. It already had this part at the bottom and this, but I added all of this, and these are all from Somerset Studio magazine. And I'll probably add more to it eventually. Here I just added this little image to this tag, and I think I'm going to glue this shut so it'll just be like a frame. What else did I do? Okay, she was already in here. She's got husband pleasing coffee, and in a Happy Mail recently, sorry, my charm is making a lot of noise over here, my dangle there. In a Happy Mail, I got a bunch of things from magazines, so I glued most of them in here. And one of them was this poppy seed bagel with a smiley face. I thought that went with the coffee. Then there's some Christmas cookies over here that I glued on. And there's a tag in here, and she sent me these too. So I stuck them on, there's a frozen fish, stuck them on the back of that. Just 'cause. And you can see them in the window at the back. I glued her on, and this image behind her, and I did all of that too. And I added this face and this image and that little girl and this image up here that says believe. And I decorated this envelope. These are all Somerset Studio magazines. I had already done this. This was a Tim Holtz ticket booklet, and all the tickets were gone, so I just used the little flappy things and glued successively larger images, and that had already been done quite a while ago. But I decided to glue these girls on the back. Might as well glue something on every surface, right? And then I think, oh, I did this and these little girls up here. And I think I have to, there's a lot of blank pages sections here, so I still have work to do. And there's that's an image waiting to get glued down. So I skipped a bunch and went to a different section. something else waiting to be glued. I know I did something closer to the back. So I did all of this. I had this is a page from a magazine. It had that jar full of chocolate chips. And I wasn't sure if I wanted to cover that because I just like the way that looks. But I did put these really beautiful bowls up there and this image from a magazine article. You can still see the chocolate chips. And then on this page I added another image from the same article. That's a rug. It's turned sideways, probably from a decorating magazine. Those clocks came from this same article. And then these cherries were a background for something in a magazine. I don't think anything new is there. That might be it. Let me just see. So I was just watching TV one evening and had a bunch of stuff downstairs. It's nice, you know, I had my glue stick in and stuff and just a few images, so I didn't have a lot to riffle through and choose. Oh, here's one I did. So I was limited to the images that I had available because I just brought them downstairs. So this was just a card in there, and I glued her on, and that. I think this was an article about getting better sleep. Oh, and this picture. I love that picture. And I glued that thermometer on and these little bees. I just thought this page needed a little something. And I glued all of these flowers on. And this, there was a thing in a magazine that said make time for dancing. And there's an image that I glued on. And all of this stuff I glued on. So I got quite a bit done. I also added these things here. And I decorated this page. This had a card on it, so I just decorated the inside. Added these cute little creatures and all of this stuff. And I decorated the back cover with this pretty image. And those punch outs and just little pieces, and added a few tidbits here. So that's what I glued this week. And I am working on, oh, sorry, my throat is itching all of a sudden. I am working on Valentine journal kits. I'll have 2 of them. And I love the covers. And I have them all. I think I have all the elements put together. I just have to video them and photograph them and list them. So I'm hoping to do that tomorrow. And then after that, I have a couple more journal kits that I'm working on. So you can watch for those. So I think that's it for tonight, and I will probably see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.